want to start off tonight with a two-step experiment. For step one, I've got a 2-liter bottle here. It's half filled with liquid nitrogen. That's negative 320 degrees Fahrenheit. As you can see, it's violently boiling off into a gas, just like boiling water does on a hot stove. Because of this freezing cold liquid nitrogen, the nice comfy air in this room is super hot. But here's the catch. The gas form of nitrogen occupies 700 times the volume of the liquid. So you gotta be really careful as it's turning into a gas. You don't trap it in a small container like if the lid was screwed on top here. So then for step two, I'm gonna go ahead and screw the lid on top. And when I do, if everything goes according to plan, the contents of this bottle should experience what we refer to at NASA as an energetic, spontaneous, rapid disassembly. It's gonna explode. All right, here we go. Put that on. Okay, now this is gonna be, oh, you know what the heck, might as well throw these on top. This is gonna be real boring until it's not. If you don't like loud noises, cover your ears. But according to my calculations, things could get real interesting here in about 3, 2, 1. 1. 1. I said 1. I'm just kidding. It's really impossible to actually calculate exactly. Whoa! Let's go! How's your jet lag now? All right. My apologies to my friends in the front row, but you should be warned, it will get worse before it gets better. I'm like Science Gallagher up here. So a lot of people would look at that. Thank you, yeah. You keep those as souvenirs, actually. Please don't throw them back the whole time. A lot of people look at that and be like, oh, neat, the ping pong balls exploded. But what actually happened is so much cooler. Because as more and more of that nitrogen turned into a gas, those gas molecules got more and more crowded as they pushed back on the plastic molecules comprising the walls of the 2-liter bottle. And then eventually, the pressure got so great, it got so crowded, the walls of the 2-liter bottle lost the game of Molecular Red Rover, and all the gas came rushing out. But where could it go? Because it can't go down or to the sides. The trash can's too thick. Therefore, the only option is to go up, and since all the ping pong balls are in the way, they just happen to go along for the ride. But here's the really cool part. This is exactly how cannons fire cannonballs. It's how Nerf blasters fire Nerf darts. It's how t-shirt cannons fire t-shirts. And for my friends in the front row, it's how straws fire spitwads. I'm just kidding. The trick for all those is you simply build up enough pressure, you suddenly release it in one direction, and plop whatever you want in the way to go along for the ride. And I love when I get like that aha moment, when I understand the world around me with a new framework. But even more than that, I love giving that to other people. This is why, for the last 15 years, once a month, I've uploaded a free science or engineering video to YouTube to my now 75 million subscribers who also have a taste for those aha moments. And the videos, thank you. The videos can range anywhere from an elephant toothpaste volcano that sets a world record to a satellite that's orbiting above us right now that we built that you can upload your picture to for free, and then it will display it on a screen and then give you a selfie in space with the Earth photobombing you. Or even a soccer goalie moves back and forth at 40 miles an hour, and then we track your shot so effectively, not even the world's greatest player can score on it. Sorry, Ronaldo. And 16 billion views later, what I've learned is I can't teach you if I don't have your attention. But if I can get your attention with something remarkable, well, now I suddenly have something to attach the learning to. This is why it kills me if someone's like, oh, I don't like science because it's boring. But at the same time, I get it, because instead of learning about pressure the way I did with these ping pong balls, a lot of times it's done like this, with curiosity murdering phrases like consider a rigid container of volume V. It's a freaking trash can, all right? And don't get me wrong, Like, there is a time and a place for equations, but for a generation that has grown up on TikTok and YouTube, you have to make it matter with something that gets them to lean forward in their seat, something that ignites a little curiosity fire in their brain. And we need that today more than ever. I like to call this style of teaching hiding the vegetables. For example, it's really boring if you make a video about the scientific method, but what's not boring is if you make a video about a 15-ton Jello pool you can actually bellow flop onto. And then in the process, I'm gonna sneak in all 6 steps of the scientific method. What's also really boring is memorizing an equation about terminal velocity. But what's not boring is you point out that squirrels are one of the only mammals that can survive a fall from any height at their terminal velocity. And then in an effort to keep them from stealing all your birdseed, you set up an 8-part Ninja Warrior obstacle course in your backyard. And in the process, what you might find is they will voluntarily demonstrate this principle for you. It's a very true story. There's also a ton of super boring microcontroller tutorial videos online. So when someone came by and stole a package from my porch, I decided to dedicate a year of my life to making the world's least boring microcontroller tutorial video. Step 1, you make a bait package like this, and on the outside, you have something like a picture of headphones. But inside, instead of headphones, you have this contraption. And at the top there's a cup that spins a pound of the world's finest glitter. You have 4 phones that will record, then upload their footage to the cloud real time, and as the pièce de résistance, a very uncharitable amount of fart spray. That's foreshadowing. And then step 2, you have the thief come by, and he lifts the lid, takes it home. Of course, it sprays the glitter, followed by the fart spray. I should point out, by the way, this whole video was sort of a modern-day homage to the greatest film of a generation. I'm talking, of course, about Home Alone. And so the thief here, who's pretending, is none other than my buddy Macaulay Culkin. And so then for step 3, what you and Macaulay are gonna do is you're gonna make 20 of these, you're gonna put them on porches all across America, and it won't take long before you start getting back some incredible footage like this.
Hello.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Hello. You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more?
Operation Whoever Smelt It Dealt It initiated. Operation Butt Trumpet initiated.
Alright, we get it, okay.
By the way, I was watching, and when that thief was about to lift the lid on the glitter bomb, not a single one of you was looking down or was on your phones. I had your undivided attention, and that makes for the most fertile brain soil, because learning is best when it's attached to a visceral experience. Basically, if you feel something here, you remember it here. This is why memorizing a boring equation is hard, but remembering that song you sang as a teenager that made you feel all those feels, that's easy, and you remember every single lyric 30 years later. And to be fair, I didn't come up with this style of teaching. All great teachers know this. For me, it was Mr. Malloy. He was my high school statistics teacher. Hello, Mr. Malloy, if you're watching this. And he was great not just because he had a killer Dr. Evil impression, or because, and I mean this with all sincerity, he had way better hair than whatever I was trying to figure out here. He was great because he made it matter, like encouraging us to use what we learned in statistics to predict where our arch-rival soccer team was going to kick their penalty kicks. And it worked. He was so good at attaching emotions to learning. He was so good at hiding the vegetables. And the thing is, with a really good teacher, their impact is immeasurable, just like Mr. Malloy impacted his students, and we're now, in turn, impacting the world. This is why I love teachers. I think they have the most important job on the planet. In fact, Please. I've said for like a decade, my dream job is to be a middle school science teacher, and I will be, but until that time, and buckle up, because this is the first time the world is hearing about this, but for the last 2.5 years, myself, with a team of about 50 people, including some of the best science teachers in the country, we've been secretly working on a full science curriculum, and it uses all the tricks I've learned for the past 15 years on how to hide the vegetables. And the reason we're doing this is because it breaks my heart when I see teachers who get paid salaries as a society we should be ashamed of, spending their own money on resources that totally suck. So it's got everything they'd need, from banger videos the kids are gonna beg to rewatch that demonstrate the science. Yes, that is a wrench in an MRI machine, because how else am I supposed to talk about the invisible magnetic fields all around us? It's got ready-to-teach classroom slide decks that are super clean and easy to use. And then it's got these really thought-out, curated science demos where the kids get to viscerally interact with the science that the teachers can make just with stuff they have lying around their classroom. And so the idea is that together we teach the classroom, and the teacher becomes the hero as we engage the students in real science and engineering they actually care about. We're starting with grades 3 through 8. It exceeds all the state science standards, but most importantly, it's exactly what science class is meant to be. Super freaking fun.
Your teacher and I are about to launch this class into hyperdrive. Let's go! We'll build stuff, ask a ton of questions, and even smash a few things along the way. If everything goes according to plan, you'll see the world around you in an entirely new way. Right.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Buckle up. It's gonna be a wild ride. It's basically magic, but science. Whoa. Which makes it cooler than magic.
I knew it felt too light.
What do you guys want to do now?
The world has evolved, and teaching science is long overdue for disruption. I'm happy to report that of the teachers who are assigned to teach the pilot lessons to their students, because of our ability to explain complicated things simply, and for our very unique experience in solving the science motivation gap for 15 years, 95% of the teachers said when we're done, they would want this to be their full science curriculum. And so the idea is you combine incredible teachers with incredible resources to get this explosive output, sort of like you'd expect to see if you combine this bucket of boiling water with this trash can of freezing cold liquid nitrogen. So to all those teachers out there in the trenches, I want you to know reinforcements are on the way. In fact, a bunch of the videos and lessons are already available right now, and we'll finish the rest over the next 4 years, because I know this will be the most important thing I do my whole life. And even though this is gonna cost us $60 million to make, my official declaration tonight is every single lesson plan, every teacher training, every original class demo will cost exactly $0 and be 100% free for all teachers forever as we work to ignite those brain fires of curiosity in the next generation of big problem solvers. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.